Hello guys, are you ready for some magic?
I am.
Thank you.
I'm ready for some magic.
I'm glad you said. I didn't hear anybody out there saying. Well, we have our Arcane tokens here, officially launched and released, and they're compatible with Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn, a phenomenal new expandable card game.
And really many magical games the world over.
I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, of all the token sets that we have, this is probably the most universally compatible set with any board games, other card games, anything that you're doing, because it simply is attempting to capture the essence of magic.
And we heard this is what we heard at Ashes Weekend, where we secretly debuted them in much very sorcerer-y
But we secretly, and then it was like, but we don't mind if you guys build some hype around them.
Yeah, and so I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna use this for Ashes. I'm gonna use this for any number of Magic-based games, and so hey, that's great.
Yeah,
because we wanted them to look as magical as possible.
And if you accomplish magic, you accomplish about 50% of the tabletop gaming sphere. So
boom,
check them out for not only for Ashes reasons, but for all of your other games as well. Now, the first thing that's important about these guys is that they are double-sided and they are paint-filled on both sides. And we were able to do that because it's a smaller amount of tokens in the set. There's only 4 tokens to cover, really only 3, because you've got the big first player / initiative token. So we were able to invest a lot more into each single token and still offer a set that allowed you to do everything that you would want to during a game without being like, oh, I ran out of exhaustion, I ran out of damage, those kinds of things. So it is double-sided, it's paint-filled on both sides, and each side is a slight variation or a play off of the front, back, respectively. So it creates this 3D magic.
Like a parallax of magical. Like we basically took the parallax that was developed and designed in the data tokens, and we added magic to it.
Yeah.
So we've got a sort of magical parallax.
You go from sci-fi to magic, and then all of a sudden, boom, here you go.
Because you got that like kind of secret. I don't know. The thing with magic circles for me is that there is sort of the thing that's on top and then the thing that is sort of coming up out of the magical part of it, like the glowing part of it. And it's very hard to make a glow effect on a token, but I think that by putting the parallax on it, it sort of achieves that double layer reality world and magical world sort of coming together.
The fact that Jonathan said the thing about magic circles is exactly why he's here in the video and he's designing these tokens, because that's a thing that he's actually actively thinking about. So if you would like somebody who's thinking about those kinds of things behind the tokens that you're using, well, look no further, friends. They're right in front of you.
I spent more than one evening, this is true, thinking about what makes a magic circle.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Lebowski line. What makes a magic circle? I don't know. Here's some exhaustion tokens. This is the first and probably the most important token in the set. They are my favorite acrylic, the blue acrylic, and they have a slightly tweaked design on the back and on the front. And that allows basically the filled in parts to be empty on the back and the empty parts to be filled in.
That's right.
And so when you pick it up and you look through it and you have it on the board, it creates this beautiful just 3D effect. And it makes me feel like I'm literally like casting things, I'm engaging in some kind of magical activity. And it fits the aesthetic of Ashes very well. It's very clean, very minimal, and it just accomplishes what it needs to accomplish in a beautiful way. And I love beautiful tokens.
And also the design on this has a lot of inward-facing triangles, and it has a lot of kind of a web effect, because I really wanted it to feel like the thing was being bogged down. So whatever you put it on, it's obvious that like that thing has like a weight on it. It's
like
not
magically
airy.
tied up.
Yeah, magically tied up, and that's one of the things that really was looking to accomplish with this one.
Yeah, and we also have the damage token, and this is obviously, it says all over it, damage, spines, aggression, all that kind of stuff, but it's still in a very magical way, because it's not, in the game of Magic, anytime you're using these kinds of concepts, it's not like you're like bleeding.
Right.
You're not like, it's that you're being magically like distressed.
Yeah, it's a distress. It's more distress than damage.
And this is double-sided. It has the 1 on one side and 5 on the other. So you can very easily flip these over, keep track of your damage, and not have to have a bunch of tokens on the board. So they are multi-purpose, as is the status token, one of my absolute favorites as well.
I like this one a lot.
Very unique border on this one, very unique engraving, and also has a 1 and a 3 to very easily track status. And status is going to be a more and more important thing in the game of Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn. And that is why the base set includes a decent number, but we have individuals of all of these tokens for sale. So if you're running something that takes a particularly large amount of status tokens, maybe like Mayoni, even she's covered out of the base set generally, but as more and more of those cards come along, you might find yourself needing more. we got you covered on that. You don't have to buy a bunch of sets. You can just buy singles.
Yep.
And then finally, we've got the first player token, which is just literally a set loose kind of design, just like go nuts, go crazy. And then the flip is an inverse flipped version of that design, so that when you're looking through it, it creates the wildest effect, guys. You literally have to just, when you get these, pick it up, look through it, and it's almost like you're entering a new dimension.
Yeah,
a new
you're
universe,
really flying
you know?
through the thing.
Maybe that's a bit hyperbolic.
Well,
Maybe that's a bit hyperbolic.
they should buy it and find out. One of the other things that's really cool from a mechanical perspective
They
is
should buy it and find
because of the way that it's inversing to the side, you can simply flip it over when your turn's done, and now it's pointing to the other player.
It's like everything.
It's like we thought about it,
because
you know?
when you play with them and you test them and you use them, a lot of those things get discovered. And one of my favorite things, and maybe the most important thing about these tokens from a functional perspective, is that I continuously, when we were in testing with these and other token sets really, one of the biggest frustrations is that you have them in some kind of a device that's carrying them.
Right.
A pouch, if you will.
Right.
A box, a token, something or other. Anyway, you dump your tokens out, you're excited to play, you're like, I'm ready, let's do this, I got my deck ready, let's go. And then you spend the next 60 seconds just flipping them all to the right face.
Right.
And because there were so few tokens in this set, it really allowed us to have both sides fully represented on the table, so that you don't have to just kind of flip to find the face of these tokens. Yeah. Everything is double-sided, and so when you dump them out, they're already there, ready
beautiful from
for
step
use.
one.
Yeah, it's really
Immediately
cool.
look beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah.
So these are the Arcane tokens, guys. They come again in singles and in the full set that you can get that should cover all of your basic needs for a game of Ashes and a number of other uses throughout the gaming universe. We love doing this. We love that you allow us to do this by buying these tokens and using them on the board and really telling the world and telling us, I really love and enjoy amplifying my tabletop experience to make it, it's not about just, these things work better, they function better, which is a lot of times the case, but I just want to be absorbed in the world. I want to be absorbed in the universe, and to Jonathan and myself, we grew up playing tabletop games, and that was the number one thing that we loved, was we could escape to another place.
Yep.
And we love making token sets that are designed around that exact concept, taking you into another universe.
Yeah,
and,
we always
so much fun.
We always seek to in our token designs to bring you deeper into the game, whatever game you're playing, to make that a more holistic, more encompassing experience.
So if you're into that, well, check these out and any of the other token lines. They're there for you. We truly appreciate the support.
Thank you.
And we got so much more content and everything else coming for Ashes. And who knows what the future holds. It's a wild world, and it's full of magic.
It's full of magic.
So thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next video.